Hey everyone, welcome back to CraftyPlannerLovR. My name is Megan and today we're going to be unboxing my 2026 reading planner. I have been waiting for this to come out for such a long time, and it finally was released and I was able to get it, and now it is here. I am so excited about this and I can't wait to show you guys, so we're not even going to waste any time. We're going to go ahead and open it. Oh, look at it. It's beautiful. So this is how the journal came. It did come in a white plastic seal. I did go ahead and take that out because I wanted to make sure that this was the correct thing. So I did take it out of its white plastic seal, but this is exactly how it came, with the white plastic seal on it and all of this little like confetti stuff on here and in this little box. This is my reading journal for 2026. This is the A5 reading journal from SweetBeanPlans. I will leave her information in the description box, but this is what it looks like. There are 3 different designs, at least at the time of me filming. There are all available, but she did release a Instagram story saying that they're almost sold out of all of them. So yeah, I don't know if they're even going to be available by the time I'm done with this, but she is thinking about restocking. Definitely follow her on Instagram for updates on that, the reading journal process, because that's how I was able to find out when everything was coming out. She released an Instagram story saying they finally arrived. I did have a little mini freak out because I am obsessed with these, and this is exactly what I wanted to have for my 2026 journal. So let me go ahead and flip through it. So like I said, there are 3 different designs. There was a dragon one, there was the little library, and then this one. I was trying to debate between the little library one and this one, but I ultimately went with this because I do love reading, I do love journaling, and I do love myself a cup of coffee. So I thought this was perfect, and it is beautiful, and I can't stop talking about it because I love it so much. So this is what it looks like. When you open it up, it comes with a white, plain thing, and then you have this reading journal belongs to. You guys know me, you know I'm a planner girly, so I'm 100% going to be getting some dashboards from Sarah Lynn Art to cover this page because I can't have it blank, and she has a lot of really cute reading and book themed dashboards. If you guys remember my reading planner from last year, which I will link up here, I use a dashboard from Sarah Lynn Art for every single month in the year 2025. So I'm definitely going to do that again with this because I think that would be really pretty to have as soon as you open it up. Then you have the This Reading Journal Belongs To. I'm most likely going to have the, because this is kind of like attached, I'm probably going to tape this page together and have the This Reading Journal Belongs To sticker here, and then a dashboard on the back inside cover of the planner. I also forgot to mention, this is hardcover. This is a hardcover book, so it will bulk up and, be chunky after I use it, but I am excited about it nonetheless. So then you have the Reading Journal Belongs To. Then you have an About Me page, and again, because I'm a planner girly, I am 100% going to get a dashboard to cover up this side, but this is the About Me page. You have a little place where you can color some things in. Reading essentials, favorite genre, favorite trope, favorite authors, how you rate things, the spice level of readings, your favorite books, and some little doodles around here. I don't really do tropes, so I think I'm probably going to cover this up with a sticker. And my favorite genre is 100% fantasy, so I don't really need to write that. I also don't need the reading essentials box, so what I'm probably going to do, maybe a little bit later in my setup, is I'm going to either look through my stickers that I currently have or go through SweetBeanPlans stickers and see if there's one that marks my interest, and I'll put it here. But for now, this is what we have, our About Me page. Then we have the reading goals page. So you have all of the months, favorite book, wow, let me start that over. Favorite book, most anticipated, worst book, and then read more, worry less. I'm probably going to cover that up with some reading washi tape, but I do like this whole page. Then we have the dashboard where you can color it. Now, again, I'm probably just going to throw a sticker over this because I don't really feel like coloring. I am terrible at coloring and I don't want to. So I'm probably just going to put a Sarah Lynn Art dashboard sticker over this one. Then we have some to be read pages. Now there is a couple, I'll show you in a second, but there's a couple of to be read sections. So there's to be read, and then you have your book stack. So what I did last year was my to be read list was any books that people told me about or I saw on TikTok, or, you know, if you guys are on like Instagram and Facebook going through reels and stuff, sometimes they have those like recommended videos and they pop up like through ads or just like recommended stuff, and I'll probably put those on this page. And then this page is going to be my physical to be read library that I really want to read this year. Last year I did a whole book stack of my Goodreads to be read list, and there is about oh gosh, okay, so there's about 200 want to read books in my Goodreads list, so that is not going to fit in here. So I'm going to just go through it, and also through my Libby app, my Hoopla app, and my Kindle Unlimited app, and see which books I really want to read in 2026 and put those here, and then I will color them in as I go if I finally read them. So that's what this is going to be for. And then when you turn the page, you have your book log, you have book, author, and rating. There's 4 spreads, 4 pages of that. I feel like that's going to be enough for me. I am pretty sure that my reading goal of 100 books this year is going to be surpassed. Let me see how many lines there are. So there are 23 spots for a book log. So let me do some quick math here. So there's enough for almost 100 books in the book log section, 92 to be exact. So that is plenty of space for, hopefully for me, but if not, I can always, you know, I don't know what I'll do with it if I run out. But anyway, you have that. Then you have the 5-star reads, and you know what I might do with that, because I don't really care about the 5-star reads when I have the rating right here. I might get, because these are stickers that she already has in her shop, I might get a book log sticker in her shop and cover it here and here, because I only had 2 DNFs in 2025. I like to see what the book is about before I DNF it. So I don't need a whole page for DNFs. So I'm thinking I might cover these 2 up with one more set of the book logs, and then that will continue over. So that might be what I do. But that's what you have here. Same thing, you have 23 lines for both. And then you have new releases. Yeah, so you have 2 whole pages for new releases. I will do a new release page, I think. I might keep this one, and then you know what I might do is I might turn this into half be DNF and half be like most anticipated books for 2026, because I know we have one over here, but my thought is I'm going to want to write down some books that I'm thinking about getting. I'm trying to not buy too many books. My goal is to only buy the books when I actually like them, and not just to buy them just because if I want to read a book over again, that's why I have it in my physical library. But, you know, such is life. So we have enough space for 46 new releases on these 2 pages. Then you have favorite quotes. And you have 2 full pages of that. If you count this bottom section here, so 24. And if you only count, you know, this part, then it's going to be 22. So enough room for some quotes. I'm not sure if I'm going to use quotes. I might cover this in some stickers. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. But I don't really track quotes. Then we have pre-ordered books. I don't actually do pre-ordered books. I might turn this into my most anticipated instead, because I don't pre-order books. I just hope for them to go out on Kindle Unlimited or Libby and then go from there. But if there is a new Callie Hart book, which is the author of Quicksilver. I will probably pre-order that one because I did pre-order Brimstone. So maybe I'll keep this one. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe I'll do pre-ordered books and then DNF. Maybe that's what we'll do. Okay. Then we have A Year at a Glance in the dot grid version. And I don't know, I might just mark this if I do actually read, but we'll see. Okay, so we have that. Then we have the bracket fave book of the year. So you have all of the months right here, and then you put your most liked book for 2026 in this little bar or whatever year you're reading it for. Then we have book of the month. We have enough for all 12 months, and this would be your favorite book. So that's how you would write your book of the month, and you'd write it over here. I don't know, maybe. Or maybe your like most anticipated book for the month. Maybe that's what you could do. Then you go into the challenges pages. Now, I have never done any kind of book challenge besides like reading 100 books or, you know, like A to Z. I have done the alphabet challenge, but I haven't done any of the other ones. So we have the rainbow challenge. We have the alphabet challenge. We have romance, thriller, spooky, and fantasy challenges. I am not a thriller reader. I don't like, well, I guess I am a thriller reader, but I don't read scary books. I can't with, no. But maybe I could still read a fantasy genre. Like if you guys have read Phantasma, that one fits the skull on a cover story perfectly. And it also somewhat fits, I guess Haunting Adeline would fit in the set in a haunted house because it's kind of a haunted house. But those books I read last year, so it wouldn't fit. So we have that challenge here. Then you have the seasonal book challenges, spring, summer, and then you have fall and winter. I'm going to wait until the spring officially starts for 2026 before I start these because we're kind of in the middle of winter right now. I might see if I have anything that has winter, but I want to try and do all of these. So we'll see. We'll see. Then you have favorite in each genre. I do not read paranormal really. Well, again, I don't know if I'd read paranormal. I don't know if Phantasma would be categorized in that. I definitely don't read horror, so this would be something I would not do. I don't read nonfiction because I don't want to fall asleep when I read because that's just how I am. I also don't read historical because, again, I don't want to fall asleep when I read, and that is not, I want to escape real life, not go back into real life. So no. But the rest of these categories I probably will use. What I will do is I will probably cover this up with a sticker or a quote or something for the genres that I don't read from. But this is a favorite in each genre. So you have romance, thriller, historical, contemporary, seasonal, fantasy, sci-fi, nonfiction, paranormal, and horror. And then you have a book tracker, goes all the way to 200. I will not be reading 200 books, I don't think, because that's a lot of books. However, I have read, and it is almost the end of January at the time of me filming. I had only planned on reading 5. I surpassed that within the first 2 days, so that was exciting. Okay, so I've already read 10 books this year. And that's not including the ones that I finished, because I have a couple that I finished from 2025. So like I started Crown Tide, which is book 4 in the Lightlark series. I also started How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, which is by Megan Quinn, and I also started Glow. Those were in December, but I finished those 3 in January. But I don't count them because I started them in December. So I've read technically 13 books this month. So that's a lot. That's more than I expected. So if I go with that, then I will be reading 144. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really worried about that. I definitely want to get to 100 though. Then we go into the monthly section, and she had said that she didn't label them, but there's a little space up here where you can put the month, and there's 12 of these. So there is a little space for you to put, you know, January, February, or whatever. We have books I bought, loved this, hated this, favorite quote, favorite book, favorite character, favorite moment, books read, physical books, ebooks, and audiobooks. Now, I don't read audiobooks. I don't do that. I do count them as reading, but I don't read audiobooks. I do use mainly physical books and ebooks, so I will probably put a sticker over this. But I think almost all of the rest of this I will be able to use. So we have, like I said, 12 of these pages, so you have an entire year worth. And then when you get to the end of December, you get to the author genre, like little mini book review, which I absolutely love, and this is what sold me on her book, that and the challenges. So there is, she said there's over 200 of these that you can have for your book, so plenty for your 200 reading book challenge. I like this because I don't like to write a full review. However, I do like to write what I remembered and I liked about a story or didn't like, and that way I can go through here and I can see all of the books that I have read. So you have a ton of these pages, like almost half the book of the rest of this book is filled with these genre pages, or these little mini book reviews, which I like because, again, if you're not a book review person and you don't like to write a whole list, this is perfect. But you guys remember that I did do a lot of book reviews on a few books in my B6 planner, which again I will link. There's .grid at the back where you can do full-on reviews for, and there's quite a few pages. I'm not going to take the time to count them out right now, but I will put it on the screen so you guys can see. But that's what the rest of this book is just .grid pages, which is perfect because if I wanted to do a book review and I wanted to do more of an in-depth spread, I can do that back here, or I can use it for notes, or I can use it for, you know, whatever. I don't really have to use it for anything if I don't want to, but I like that there's options for it. So that is the rest of the book, and then when you turn, there's, you know, .grid, end page, and then the end of the book. So that is the book journal from SweetBeanPlans. I am so excited to start this. After I finish filming this video, I am going to go ahead and start doing some setup for January. I do have to make my Sarah Lynn Art PR order within sometime soon, so I will probably use my Sarah Lynn Art PR credits for my dashboards for this planner so I can get them set up for January. But definitely follow along in this playlist. I will be doing some sort of review. I think my thought was that I would do my monthly setups on TikTok. So you guys would see me do like the monthly paper, oh my gosh, the monthly page right here on TikTok so you can see how I set it up. And then if I do any monthly after the pins, so most of my stuff for this planner is going to be on TikTok. So the monthly reviews and setup are going to be there, and then I'm going to do my monthly after the pen flips on TikTok as well. If I do any reading spreads, those are going to be on my YouTube. I will do a YouTube video on that so you guys can see how to do this, but most of it is going to be on TikTok, and then I will share pictures on Instagram. So if you are interested in seeing how I use this planner, definitely follow me on TikTok. It is the same as my YouTube name at CraftyPlannerLovR. I will also link it in the description box so you guys can follow me there. But I do post, I'm trying to post more on TikTok than I did last year. That's one of my goals. So hopefully with this reading journal, it will convince me to start. I will probably do like little ASMR, like writing in the reviews and stuff like that. I think that would be really cute. Maybe I'll do a YouTube short here and there, but that is my thought for this planner. I am so excited to use this, and it's going to be perfect for me to have with me throughout the year, and I think it's going to be just really exciting to use, you know, for 2026. We'll link SweetBeanPlans information in the description box so you guys can follow her and check out her shop. I have been a huge fan of her shop. She is a local Floridian, which makes me super excited. So that's why it came so fast. It released like at the beginning of this week and got here on Wednesday, so like it became available. So I am very excited that I got it so fast, and I am so excited to use this. Once again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm sorry it took so long for this to get here, but I am excited nonetheless. I think it's going to be a really fun planner to plan in, and I don't know, I'm pumped. If you guys like this video and you want to see more of my content, like my reading planner from last year, don't forget to check out that. I will leave it linked at the end of this video in a playlist so you can see all of them, as well as my monthly setups. The inserts that I used last year were from Galleria Designs Co., which are linked in the description box of those videos. So if you want to see how I used it last year, definitely check that out. I am so excited to set this up. I can't wait to start using it, and I hope you guys are excited to see this planner. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made you excited to read just like this one did for me. And until next time, read on. Bye guys!